Hello, welcome to our wake where we rise to connect with our spirituality, our higher self. My name is Judith and I am your spiritual psychologist. So, today is very um, significant, symbolic to the history of Amazonia. And the date of today, which is October 10th, 2025, is very symbolic. And that's why I have chosen this topic. How do you rise above your shadow? How do you rise above your shadow? Yes, so we're going to see in this presentation what is a shadow um, in this presentation. And also, I'm going to show you the symbolism of today in the history of Amazonia. Okay? So, um, give me 1 second. And we continue to celebrate our independence. And also, we're asking our population at the home front to stay indoors. Do not go out for any election selection process. They already know who has won their election. They already selected the person. So your going out there is to go put yourself and your life at risk. Stay home. Stay home, people. Okay? You've observed this lockdown for um, more than a month now. We appreciate you. Yes, we are in this together because we need to get out of that unholy union with La Republique. So stay home so you can live to see Amazonia and enjoy with your children, where they will live in a free society, where they will have access to every resources that has been provided by the state of Amazonia. That is the country we are fighting for. It is not a country where a few people, or they call themselves the elite, will benefit the resources of the nation. No, we are fighting for an Amazonia where there will be equal rights, where there will be justice, law, and order, equal opportunities for everyone, irrespective of your physical, form. Okay, so stay home. We are here. We've been here for 9 years, and no one is going to stop us from getting Amazonia. So stay home and believe in yourself that Amazonia is your own God-given land. The nature chose you to be in that land. So defend it in every way. And one of it is your civil obedience to stay home so we can have our country. Thank you so much. Okay? So before we go to the topic, give me a second here so I can share, because some people, they don't really have access to this. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. It is done. So, I have something for you on this day, October 10th, 2025. In numerology, this name, this day, has a very, very important energy in the history of Amazonia. And that's why you see me, I'm putting on the Amazonia colors. Okay? So, the topic today, how do you rise above your shadow? Today is 10th October 2025, the 10th in the 10th month of 2025. In numerology, 10 carries the energy of the number 1. When you add 1 plus 0 is equals to 1. Those born on the 1st, on the 10th, on the 19th, and the 28th of any month are ruled by the numerology number 1. So when you take the 10th, you add it as 1 plus 0, it gives you 1. If you take 19, you add 1 plus 9, it gives you 10. And 10 again, you continue to add, because in numerology, the answer must be in a single digit. And this single digit, they range from 1 to 9. So any answer that you have beyond 9, you have to continue to add to get a single digit. So when you take 28, 2 plus 8 is 10. You continue to add, and the answer will boil down to 1. So those events that occurred on the 1st, on the 10th, on the 19th, and the 28th of any month are ruled by the numerology number 1. Okay? So what is numerology? Numerology is the study of the spiritual meaning of numbers. And like I keep saying, when I give us those 7 spirits, or intellectual capacity, knowledge, understanding, fear, spirit, power, counsel, and wisdom, numerology falls under what? Understanding. That is the ability of understanding. So if you are trying to understand the events in your life or in your countries, why things are happening, or your own date of birth and your name, all, you can use numerology to get the answer and know your purpose in life. It assigns a number to each letter of the alphabet in order to drive a single number for your name, country, or event. The standard numerology numbers are 1 to 9. Whenever we get more than 1 digit, we add until there is only 1 digit. This step is reducing the number. Ambazonians declared their independence on October 1st, 2017. It was no coincidence, because when you take the day, the month, and the year, when you do numerology on these days, this date, the month, the year, and the day, it all boils down to this number 1. 2017, if you want to add it, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 is equals to 10. And 10 again, you continue to add, 1 plus 0 is 1. So everything on that day that we declared our independence in 2017 has spiritual meaning. Okay? So it was by design. The month, the day, and the year all carry the energy of 1. The number 1 symbolizes spiritual oneness of truth. That's why you will hear everything that the president says, or Dr. Mungwa, and everybody is about truth. We are going back to the basis of truth, that only the truth will set us free. That is where everything started, truth. Every creation started from truth. Okay? So, the number 1 symbolizes spiritual oneness of truth. a visionary, a conduit for enlightenment, leadership, and freedom. So if you want to free yourself, as we are doing, we have to go back, and that's where we went back to the truth. So anybody who is not comfortable with the truth, you see, they drop out of the struggle. And those who, in the opposite camp of the La Republique, who have been trying to twist the truth, you see their country has collapsed because they are trying to distort the truth. Do you see where your revolution is called God ordained? Because it is grounded in truth from the day that it was declared on that October 1st, 2017, as our day of independence. It was no coincidence. Okay? So now we're going to talk about the shadow. How do you rise above your shadow? Because that number 10, 10, it's also very significant in this struggle or revolution. Because one, as we have already seen, one there symbolizes what? That oneness of truth. And then there is that zero. That zero, remember, I showed us last time of these two loops. Huh? I'm going to bring it out again. You see that? These two loops. One loop is the human self, and this other one here is the divine self. So what happens? The human self is disconnected from its divine self because you don't know your true nature. So everything you are doing here, you are struggling in your human self. So that 0 on 1, it acts on a 10, it acts there as a shadow. A shadow, that your loop, that human loop, is a survival loop, a struggling loop. So it is attached, it is there with the one. So we in this revolution, we are coming out of that loop of struggle to enter into our oneness with our true nature, our true identity. So that's why this day, October 10th, 2025, is very symbolic with the first October. They all carry the energy, numerological energy of one. So, the shadow, what is a shadow? When I went to Wikipedia defined a shadow as a dark area on a surface where light from a light source is blocked by an object. That's a shadow. And we all have shadows, right? Literally, when you go out there with the sunlight, you see a shadow. When you are at home, there is light, from the electricity source, you see your shadow. Yeah? It's a shadow refers to what? This is the metaphorical or esoteric definition of a shadow. The one I gave you is the literal definition of a shadow. Now I'm going to give you the esoteric definition of a shadow. Shadow refers to the projection of the limitations, the struggles, and the sufferings of the human self onto the physical realm. You see that? That loop where we are trapped in our human self. So many things going on in our mind. You come to find out that it's a mental thing. It's a mental issue. but they are acting as shadows because they reflect in our day-to-day reality. So they say shadows also negative impulses like anger, jealousy, selfishness, covetousness, aspects that are considered unacceptable, undesirable, and shameful in society. So, shadow is all about, when we talk of the esoteric definition, it's all about your human limitations, your human struggle, your difficulty, the scarcity, and all of that. Um, those colonizers, uh, the colonial masters, the La Republique, those are your shadows because they have kept you in that place of struggling. You're struggling with your own self. You have not come to know your true self. So you're still struggling with this um your reality. The illusion that you are trapped in. You are still there. But when you come to know yourself, to realize who you are, then you rise above your shadow. Okay? It says, do shadows have energy? In the literal sense, no. A shadow is simply the absence of light. Light, which is a form of energy. You see that? Light is a form of energy. So if you don't have that energy, and the energy now in this esoteric sense is your spirit nature, your divine nature, that nature of truth, of conscience, of righteousness, and of justice. That is the light. Because truth is that spark that rises to influence your thoughts, your feelings, your behavior, your action. So if you are, or your thoughts, your actions, your behavior are devoid of truth, what do you see out there? It's chaos. And chaos is what? Esoterically is darkness. It's a shadow of how your mind thinks. Because you don't want to align with the truth. Huh? So a shadow is simply the absence of light. Hmm? A shadow cannot exist in a completely dark room because there is no light to be blocked. So shadows only exist when there is light and then it is blocking the light. So what is blocking the light in Amazonia today, where we find ourselves in this revolution? Is because somebody, La République, in France, in Britain, and all of them who connive to steal our freedom, to steal our identity, to steal everything about us, our resources, to steal our mental capacity of thinking. That most people today in Amazonia, they cannot think. You see, they have some of them that they go out there because Chiroma has come out, and they are going, oh yeah, Chiroma will bring a change. Chiroma will bring a change. But you see, you're just looking at the effect. You're not going back to the root cause. Where is Chiroma from? The same corrupt, rotten government. Where does he take his lectures from? France. Huh? And you think that he will come and do something different from Paul Biya? No, they all get their lessons from France. You see, you're being carried away by sentiments and in thinking of all those fake apologies and crocodile tears. You think that they have changed. They all have one puppet master. One puppet master. So don't think that they'll come and do a new thing. No, no. So our way of thinking need to rise. Get out of that mindset where you are being caught up in that emotion of oh, they come and give you a 2,000 francs and give you sardine and bread and give you all of that, and they tell you, make you all those fake promises, and you say, oh yeah, this person is new. He has been in the government for how many years? Where was Biya from? Was he not from the same government before he became the president? For 42 years, did he do anything? So is it Chiroma or the other candidates that are going to do anything? So Ambazonians who are associating themselves with this kind of rhetoric, you better wake up. Wake up and change your own way of thinking and get out of that forbidden system. Get out of that rotten system and get your own country where there's law and order, where there is justice, where there is a people who are ready to do the right thing and who cannot bend or twist the truth. Okay? So, shadows change throughout the day as the sun moves across the sky. This is just the reality that we as humans will experience on a day-to-day basis, making them appear longer in the morning and evening and shorter at midday. Do you hear that? So everything that we're talking about spirituality needs to align with your reality. Hmm? If anything in your spirituality that they are teaching you about spirituality does not match with what you are seeing in the physical, then that is not spirituality. And that's why I have problem with all the religion, where they will come and tell you, oh, you have this and this and that, the savior did this, or this one Buddha did that, and then when you look at the reality, it does not add up with what you are teaching. That is not spirituality. It is not. So just like our shadows, they're saying that shadows change throughout the day as the sun moves across the sky, making them appear longer in the morning and evening and then shorter at midday. Now, why is it shorter at midday? And sometimes at midday you will not even see your shadow. It has become one with you. You see, when you use that, you apply it in a spirituality, that is when you become one with your spiritual self. They're showing you midday is just what? That's half of of the day. And when I show us, like in this loop, you see, here it was what? There were separate loops. And now, because you have integrated with your own true self, your divine nature, you see, all of that, they become one. That's what we are talking of, the oneness. Look at that. What is there in the middle? That's the spirit. So when they are talking about the shadow at the midday, that it becomes shorter or becomes one with you, that you cannot tell apart your shadow from your own real self. That is when you become one with your spirit self. And to get to that point of your spirit self is when you have a conscience and you are ready to do the right thing. You are ready to do the right thing. If you don't want to do the right thing, and then you're twisting stuff, you're coming up, you're not speaking with clarity, and all of that. You hear our SOS, Dr. Mungwa always release these audios and making a clarity, you know, uh, um, truth in what is that? Is thing again? Uh, Clarity in crisis, you know. So it's because these things they align. If you are saying something and then the reality is speaking of a different thing, that is misalignment. It's misalignment. So your shadows or your shadow is that place of struggling, your limitation, your difficulty. And because of what? The truth has been distorted. That's why you find yourself in that difficult situation. But when you try to look for clarity, that's why you start to use your conscience because you want to find reason how you can change that situation. And the conscience comes in now when you are about to change your narrative. You're about to change your situation. People cannot change situations or their narrative by making fake promises out there. Where your change comes, it's a reflection of what is in your mind. And we see the results out there. Then we know that you are what you meant and you are actually doing it. You cannot come and make fake promises and you say, oh, this, I will do that. Then when you get to power in 3 months down the road, 6 months, they are not seeing nothing. Or you start something, oh, we are trying to fix this, and too many projects at one, and then nothing is done. And it becomes business as usual. Huh? So, in esoteric knowledge, shadows refer to a reflection of our inner mental struggles, limitations, distractions that usurp the energy of the mind negatively. So, that blockage, when you see from the definition, it says shadow is a dark area on a surface where light from a light source is blocked by an object. So that light source there is where? From that place of truth. That is the energy in you. That's why we say you are energy filled. The energy of truth, of conscience, of righteousness, and of justice. That divine spark in you that lights up the world, that lights up that darkness. How do you use that energy? Do you use it in negative things, in all the lies and deception? So it will stand as what? Those your lies and deception, because they came from your mind, then they are standing as a hindrance. They are standing as a wall, a blockage, huh? A barrier. There are limitations that the light of truth cannot go through. The light of conscience cannot go through. So people are always in the dark, in ignorance, in struggling, in the lack, in difficulty, huh? Underdevelopment. You find that lawlessness, corruption, all of that. When those things are in the society, there is no way that that society can grow or develop when you have not taken care of those shadows. Huh? So when you see those things, they are just a reflection of a corruption that is going on in the system. And you need to go to the root cause to address that so truth can flow through, the light can flow through. Because they are showing you that there's a problem. When we go under the sunlight, and we see our shadows, it shows we are alive, right? And sometimes they say, oh, when you see somebody doesn't have a shadow, they say, oh, it's a ghost. I don't know about that. So maybe we're watching that shadow at the midday when the shadow has already integrated with the person. And you think that, oh, that person doesn't have a shadow, it's a ghost. Did you look at your own shadow first? So, yeah. So you integrate. And how do you integrate? You embody that thing. We're not going to solve our problems at the effect level. When they come there and give you those bread and sardine and 2,000 francs and 5,000 francs, and some of them, they bought them used cars, SUV, and all of that. And you think that it will it will solve the problem that your roads are bad, deplorable, you don't have electricity, you don't have internet, huh? They're going to cut internet tomorrow. Is it tomorrow that the elections are taking place there in La Republic? Huh? They're going to cut internet. Water source, nothing. None of those things. Huh? So you think you can solve the problem by bribing people and all of that, bribery and corruption to shut their mouth, but the reality is there. So it's up to you, the people of La Republic, if you choose to be in another um, is it 60 years? That is up to you. But Ambazonians have chosen to get out of this unholy union. Okay? And that is what we have done. That shadow that has been lingering in our territory for 60 years plus, we have chosen to rise, and that's why we embody this struggle. We embody this revolution to make sure that we have our freedom. Hmm? What does the oneness say? The number one symbolizes spiritual oneness of truth, visionary, a conduit for enlightenment, leadership, and freedom. So that shadow of the loop, when you see 1 0 on 10, as today is the 10, that zero, we are coming out to lead our future, to lead the future generation of Ambazonia, to set the pace that Ambazonia is going to be a land of law and order, a land of upright people, a land of justice, fairness in society, equal rights. That is what the one represents. And so that shadow of the loop there, we are integrating it. We are rising above those limitations. We are rising above that colonial mindset where your resources are being looted by a proxy nation called La Republic. Huh? Where your resources are being looted by their own masters, their colonizer master. Huh? France, Britain, and all of them. We are rising. And that's why in this struggle we continue to educate our people. Educate, 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 educate. To get the right information, that's how you're going to free yourself. When you distort the truth, because it's the foundation. When you distort it, people can never free themselves. They will see those sardine and bread and the 2,000 and 5,000 francs like, oh, it's manna that came from heaven. But then that manna came from where? From the pit of hell. Because if you're in your normal senses, you know that 5,000 cannot buy you food in Ambazonia. It cannot buy you food for a day. That you can cook a pot of food for 5,000 francs. It is not possible now. So when you go and collect those crumbs like that, what are you thinking? You don't even have respect for yourself. Huh? You don't have no respect for yourself. You don't have no moral standing. That's what you're doing. Because if you have the moral standing, you will look at those people and even spit at their face and say, "You have come again." Because it's only their own families and their circle of friends that are living out of the resources of the nation. Something that's supposed to be distributed evenly to all the citizens, but a few of them, they are the ones benefiting, and they come and give you crumbs and you go and pick it like birds that are looking for food. It's a shame to those of you, La Republican and some Ambazonians who go there to those their fake rallies. It's a shame to you. Hmm? It's a shame to you. So, how do you rise above your shadow? Now we have seen what is a shadow. We have seen the number 10, uh, that it has the same energy as 1. And that 0 there is that your shadow, your struggles, you know, your limitations and all of that. So you're rising above it to go get your freedom, to have your independence, your sovereignty. You're coming out from the survival mode to the sovereign mode, where you are in absolute control of your life, of your resources, of your nation. Nobody can come and impose their own narrative on you. Nobody. So, Amazonians, Sunday, the 12th of October, is La Republique Sham selection that's going on. Stay home. Stay home, people. Stay home for your life. Ambazonia is around the corner. Stay home so we can celebrate together. We can celebrate together. Stay home. You have had enough humiliation. You've had enough humiliation for 60 years plus. Think of your ancestors that were killed, were imprisoned unjustly. Think of our brothers and sisters today who are imprisoned unjustly languishing in the jails of La Republique. Think think of your daughters, your sons that are being raped. Think of them; those are being killed. Think of your children, baby Mata, Mama Api. Think of them that have been killed unjustly. Think of even the basic necessities of life that you deserve to have, to live life abundantly on this physical earth, like water, electricity, internet, all of that, good roads, hospitals, all of that, having jobs. You don't have nothing, nada, none of those. So, what will make you to continue to live in your shadows, in the shadow of La Republique? Huh? You have lived in the shadow of La Republique of Paul Biya, who is never there, ruling in absentia. You have done that for 60 years plus. Why do you want to go back and continue to live in your shadow? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? If the La Republique have chosen to be there as a chicken that the head have been cut off, they don't know their left or right, that is their business. Africa is rising up. Africa is waking up. If they want to stay in that mess, that asshole country, let them stay there. You get out, and it starts by you getting out of that shadow. Your shadow, you need light to go through to have your freedom. To go through and have your freedom. Rise up, Amazonians, rise up. You have been in the dark for far too long. So now is the time to rise up. So I was trying to look for some other information. Yes. So how do you do that? Say break out of your comfort zone, that survival mode, that loop, that survival loop. Break out of it and embrace your new possibilities. Those of you who are still trapped in that mindset, yeah, you're thinking that, oh, Amazonia, there's no way we cannot be free. And so you're collecting money here and there, thinking that some of you will see you and now you are yoking with the presidential candidates in La Republic. You know, you guys, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. I have never seen a people. I this struggle has made me to see the darkness in human minds. Yes, to see how humans, especially Africans, how dark they can be in their minds. Very dark evil. How some people can really be so evil and wicked. Huh? Those that they claim that they drop out of the struggle, but when you see our ASA, they are doing something marvelous, you come and pick the video and post it out there as if you are the one doing it. Shame on you. Shame on you. The same ASA that you misled, you made some of them many good fighters who died in your hands because of your greed, your wickedness. Today you take their videos and you go put out there shamelessly when they are fighting for you who have lost your head. Huh? Say discover the creative ways to move your life forward. That divine spark in you is the spark that lights up your mind. It lights up the faculty of your mind to create the things that you desire to be, the vision that you want to see, the dream that you have about Amazonia. That spark, that divine spark in you, which is originates from truth, from that place of oneness. It is that spark that gives you the vision, the ability to change and transform your narrative, to come out like how on earth for 60 years plus we've been painted, oh, the continent that is disease ridden, underdeveloped, all the derogatory things you can hear of. Oh, the Africa was labeled that. And now when Africa is rising up, oh, they say, how dare you rise up? Oh, you're supposed to be trampled on. You're supposed to be in darkness. You're supposed to be there fighting for crumbs. You're supposed to be there. All the disease, you become their lab rats. That is what they have labeled you. So when you're trying to rise up, they come, they use your own people, your own brothers, your own sisters to come and paint a different narrative. But Africa has wisen up. Hmm? No more. The genie has refused to go back in that bottle. Yeah? No more. and no more. When you rise to freedom. Nobody can put you back in that journey. All right? So, connect with your independent spirit and original ideas of freedom. So, those of you who fell out, maybe you didn't get a clear picture of what you were fighting for. Now is the time to come back, go to your counties, go to your LGAs and draft there like never before. Because Ambazonia is real. We're not going back in that bottle. We're not going back in that hole. We're not going back in that darkness and ignorance. So take it or leave it. Ambazonia is free. Don't let minor distractions pull you off the course. It is time to shine and celebrate your uniqueness. Huh? Time to shine and celebrate your uniqueness. It says, be mindful, trust yourself, and walk in confidence. Hmm? Confidence is that place of the spirit. Yeah? Is that place of the spirit. The midday when your shadow integrates with your real self. That is the confidence you're talking about. That is the faith. It means you have aligned with your higher self. You have aligned with your divine nature. You have aligned with your spiritual consciousness. You have aligned with your subconscious mind. So now is the time to rise above your shadow. Those things that have been pulling you back, that have kept you in the dark, kept you in ignorance, ASAs, Amazonia State Armies at the home front, defend your land. Those in the diaspora, defend your land. It is not getting easy out here. I'm telling you, people, it's not getting easy. Things are not looking up good. So fight for your country. That is where you have your own freedom. Okay? So I think we have come to the end of our presentation today. We leave the rest in the hearts and the minds in the hands of our people. Do you want a free Ambazonia? Time to choose. Ambazonia has risen to fall no more. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section. What is your shadow that is keeping you from rising? Stay blessed, people, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.